Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Conley here and my assistant Joe Frank. We are going to share another science experiment with you that you can try at home. This one, as you can see, I have water, oil, and some food coloring. We are going to do an experiment about something called density. Density is a science word for things either sinking or floating. For instance, if you've been in a bathtub with toys, you can experiment with sinking and floating, it being in a pool. I have this big picture of water here, and I want you to think about whether or not I have an egg and an orange, and we can think about, are they going to sink or float? They have different, what's called density. And so I'm going to first put in an orange. Do you think it's going to sink or float?
Float.
Oh, okay. Ready for the orange? In there. Oh. If it's staying at the top, that is called floating. So that orange is floating at the top, and I'm going to put the egg in. What do you think the egg is going to do?
Float.
Is it going to float, or is it? Oh, it went to the bottom. So that egg did something called sink, or it sunk to the bottom. And again, you can try different objects that you find around your house. Again, maybe in the bathtub. Try it in some water like this. For our experiment, we're making something called a lava lamp. And it involves oil and water, because oil is going to float on top of water. Water will sink. So I'm going to start. I have oil, right, like cooking oil that someone could help you in the kitchen find. And pour that in a bottle. You could do this in a cup, a bottle, anything really to hold it. And I'm going to pour in some water. You want to put your glasses on, Joe Frank?
Nope.
Oh, what?
Yes.
We're going to add in some water. And when I add in that water, I know for a moment here you might be seeing some what looks like bubbles forming. But what we really have is, I poured it in. You could pour it in more gently than I did. But I have mostly the water here at the bottom. And we are now going to add, the other thing you can add, so that's oil and water. The water you should find sinks to the bottom. You can see the oil on top. And then we're going to add in some food coloring. Food coloring is going to be similar to water and should sink to the bottom. So watch that drop. It's really fun to watch one drop at a time. We'll break the surface of the oil and then sink to the bottom. There we have a big drop of blue. Joe Frank and I, we are adding blue and red today to our experiment bottle. Here are some red drops. So we add oil, water, and there the drops. They're going to sink due to density down to the bottom. You see that, Joe Frank? I'm just adding a few more. And those are going to sink to the bottom. And, sorry, I picked up a baby boy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add, to make this a lava bubble lamp, I'm going to add fizzy, what are called like Alka-Seltzer tablets. And we are going to break those up. I broke up a tablet here into smaller pieces. And we're going to add those, and it's going to create a nice bubble fizzing. A chemical reaction actually is going to happen at the bottom when this tablet gets to the water. It's going to bubble and make something called carbon dioxide gas and create a fun bubble lamp. Ready? Or lava lamp.
Yeah.
You want to add one tablet?
Yeah.
So here we go with the bubbles. Do you see them? Watch. Look at the bubbles coming up. And those bubbles are going to be less dense and rise filled with those gas bubbles. And they're going to rise. And this is our fun lava lamp experiment that you could try at home.
Whoa, I think that's a...
So when it settles and the bubbles are done in your lava lamp, one other thing you can do is put the cap on. And you also have a neat, just due to the, again, density difference between the oil and water, you can create kind of like a cool wave bottle to watch. If you tilt your bottle gently back and forth, it's just really fun to watch waves being created there between the oil and water due to density changes. Because every time we flip it, if I go this way, the water will sink. And then if I go this way, again, the water will sink. Again, this was our fun density experiment. I hope you guys can have fun with some science this week. And I'll see you later. Bye.